Good morning. It's raining. Haven't gotten to much, but we had about a tenth overnight, and while it doesn't add up to much and make it super wet, it doesn't let things dry out, so no field work today. Probably not going to deliver any seed today because there's rain all over the place, so we might spend the day doing electrical work. So Dad and Brock got a lot of the lower stuff done last night. All the wire pulled. They got the main wires pulled into our panel down here. He's wiring up the outlets on that circuit around the backside there. But they did not work on the lighting stuff at all. And so today, at least for a little while, Dad and I are going to work on lights up here. He does not want to climb the scaffolding, understandably so. So I'm going to work on this. So we're going to continue off of this conduit that we've gotten down to our switch box. Up to where our first light is hanging right there, and then we got a big junction box we got to put in. So we'll throw a full stick up there and we'll see how it goes from there. Made it to our first box. Dad's cutting me some spacer blocks. We'll throw a piece of wood up here on top of this and anchor it to that, and then I can put some more screws up through it to hold it in place. But I did get one in there and held it and stuff. So the idea here is that we're gonna come up out of our switch box, and then we're gonna have a plug here. So that's what that single hole cover for it is there, and we've got a nice deep box with a big cover, so we got lots of room in here because we got lots of wires. But then we're gonna have a run going that way to cover all of those lights. We're gonna have another run coming this way to get to that light, and then we're gonna have a run going out of this hole up and down to the other side, and then we'll branch off and go to the other lights that will be over there that I don't have hung yet. 2 switches. Each row is going to be on its own switch, so one set will pass straight through this box. The other one will have a big junction here, and we'll have to go both ways plus to the switch. So a lot of wires going in that box. That's why we put a big one in there. It's projects like this where a scissor lift or a man lift would come in super duper handy. Yeah, we got to stay to the east there. Yeah, we're under it. Okay, hold on. I gotta be able to get to that box. There we go. All right, so we got our run going to that light done. Now we gotta go the other direction. All right, well, we started down here and got up to that box. We came over to that box and went all the way across over there to the far light. And so we got half of the conduit in. Next step is to go from that first main box across over to the other side there, and then run back across the sides over there to the other lights. So we'll get to that, but I gotta go get bracing. We went and got bracing. We got some cleaning up to do down here, but truck called me 10 minutes ago, was here, so we got to get him unloaded real quick. Well, that was a lot. There were 10 boxes on that truck for me. So we got some more beans to treat now. We had some to treat, but now we've got more. All right, well, we cleaned some stuff up in here. It's much better than it was, and we're pulling this conveyor back to the farm because we're done with it here. Yeah. So, Grandpa went to eat lunch. That's why we thought we'd come down and work in here for a little bit. Now it's 1 o'clock, and we'll go back and do some more electrical. And check this out, somewhere up there. The sun has come out. It's super bright and nice, and now it's even warm. 57, my truck says, almost 60. And it's nice, and this is good. And if it stays this way, things will start drying out again until it rains tomorrow. But hey, one step at a time. We are back to the electrical project here. Kind of jump around a little bit. Brayson's mad at me because I yelled at him because he was making too much noise and I couldn't talk to Grandpa. But we've made it from that box up around our peak over to here where we're getting ready to mount a box because this is the run where our lights are going to be. So we got to branch off both ways from here just like we did on that other one, but you can't see that from here, can you? And then the conduit's hung and we have to string wire and yeah. Dad's trying to cheer him up. guys know what the fun part of this is? We got to get a box connector in there, so we get to take out a little aggression. Stab it through. Need one on both sides. Oh, nailed it that time. There. Ready for wire. Well, now that we've got the conduit run, and it's cleared off and it's a really nice day, I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind, but we're going to go deliver some seeds. So we're going to go down and load up a trailer. The farm we're going to is literally across the section from our farm in Berkey, so that's where we're headed. All right, we are loaded up again here. Relatively heavy. We've got 4 boxes of beans and a pretty decent pallet of corn, about the same load as we had yesterday. We're going to swing into the farm real quick and check our tire pressures because I don't have a spare available. So just to be on the safe side, we'll check them and see. I did take the rim from that one that we blew out yesterday down to my father-in-law. They were bringing him a tire today. He was supposed to get it around 2, so it's probably there and ready to go, but my wife's going to bring it home, and I don't have it yet. So we'll check them, make sure. I loaded the trailer a little different. We put 2 boxes right on the front, so we got a little more weight on the truck than the trailer. And yeah, we should be fine, but I'm a little bit nervous just because if one blows out, I can't call and be like, hey, bring me the spare, because there isn't a spare at the moment. Well, all the tires got plenty of air in them. They're all actually just a touch over. They're 95 pounds rated, and they were 98 to 101, so good enough. We're off. We're going. Well, we got that unloaded. A couple of those boxes that I brought down here to our Berkey farm yesterday are for the same customer, so we're going to go ahead and load them up. They're sitting over there, and take them over to them right now. I don't have a shovel or the time to go find one, but dang, it looks dry down here. I know that's corn stalks, and it's a little bit hard to tell, but the ground is dry on top. All the fields. I'll show you another one on our way home, but we are close. We are very, very close. Now, this ground at Berkey at our farms here, we're, for those of you that don't or haven't been around for a long time on the channel, we're about 35 miles east of our main farm, just outside of Toledo, Ohio, and we have not quite 600 acres here that we farm. This is my dad's home place, or my grandpa's home place, and so we have a little bit of a separate land base here, and yeah, the ground is different. It doesn't dry the same, but it is close. All right, we got those 2 boxes off. Brayson, what did you get to see?
Piggies.
Piggies. We're at a pig farm, and they took us into the farrowing barn. So did you get to see the little itty bitty baby piggies?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? Those piggies couldn't have been a day or 2 old. They were brand new.
They're 6 years old.
6 years old? No, I don't think so. They were just little itty bitty ones.
They are 0.
And they're big mama pigs, weren't there? Yeah.
They were 0 years old.
0 years old, that's right. All right, back to the seed warehouse or the farm or something, huh?
I'm not going to the house.
Yeah, we'll take you home to Mom.
No.
Yeah.
I'll run back out there.
You will run back out there?
Yeah.
I told you I'm going to make you ride on the trailer. I'll strap you down like a bag of seed.
No.
What?
I'll hurt myself.
You will hurt yourself? Well, don't do that.
No, I'll fall off.
No, I'll put a strap on.
No.
Oh, all right, fine. Stay in your seat. Here is some of our other fields down here. And like I told you, they look real dry. Now they're probably pretty gooey underneath yet and not quite ready to go, but without a shovel, I can't really decide that. Nobody else is working yet. Nothing's been done around, so I'll trust the neighbors. And we'll see what happens with the rain tomorrow. But if it does not rain tomorrow, or rains minimally tomorrow, it's going to be go time this weekend. I can just about guarantee it. All right. Well, we made it back, and I'm curious. So we're going to go do a little looking around here. I don't know what we're going to find. I doubt we'll find anything dry enough, but we're going to go and look. Well, I know what we found.
What?
All the deer running. See them? There they go. We just saw a raccoon. We're just scaring all the wildlife out. Well, let's see what it looks like here. Look at my fancy new shovel I bought. I promise you I I would not have bought a John Deere shovel had they had any other options that were cheaper. They did not. I got it at Tractor Supply. Well, that looks good, doesn't it, Brayson?
Yeah.
You take it up and drop it. That's probably a little gooey. No, that's not bad. No, that's not bad. That would go. That would go. All right, let's go find another spot to look. Okay, this is the wet spot. One of the wet spots. This farm is really well tiled, though. And, you know, it should be one of the first ones. We didn't go deep enough there. Can you let me get a good scoop and then you can do one? Okay, your turn. That's a little bit gooey. I mean, it's the low spot. It's supposed to be the wet spot. It's not horrible. It's not horrible, but it is a little bit wet in the dip here. It is damp on top right here. See where that post is? There's a lot here that's part of the house lot that is not well tiled because it was not tiled when we tiled everything else. So there it's wet. How much do you wait on that? 2 acres there on the rest of the fields kind of thing. The wheat is growing. It is greened up. You can see all our thin spots, but it is what it is. We're keeping that wheat for sure. Super windy here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me very well, but thought I'd ride along the woods. Again, notorious wet spots. How long do you wait on the last 2 or 3 acres to dry out? That's the question. If we could work this tonight, which I did not anticipate, I could plant it tomorrow before it rains, and we could have something done. It wouldn't be a lot, but it would be something. All right, so we jumped into a different field here, and I am in the low spot. I don't know how well you can tell that the ground really slopes up all the way around us. We're kind of in a little bowl right here. You can see the water line right there, right there, right there. There's multiple where there's been water sitting here. This field was wheat last year, and then double crop beans. Wheat stubble tends to hold moisture much worse than bean stubble does. So this will be going to corn, as same as that other field, but generally the wheat stubble tends to stay wetter. So I wanted to dig here, and yeah, it's really not bad. It's a little gooey deeper underneath. We try not to dig too deep with the field cultivator in the spring. We're just trying to level it up and create loose dirt, and you can see how nice this stuff breaks apart just with my hand, and the field cultivator is going to do that same thing and give us nice loose dirt to plant into. So good job, Brayson. Oh, here, let me push it in. Okay, now pry it in. Yeah, there you go. Good job. Excellent. Okay, let's go find another spot.
There.
So in this particular spot, because we're in that low ground, there wasn't really much wheat stubble here. It either floated out or the wheat crop just drowned it out and didn't grow there, so there was very little residue. So I want to go up on top of one of the dips where we did have good wheat crop, and there's a lot of stubble and material. What? Oh, there was some wheat growing there? Yeah, we've got a little volunteer wheat growing. But anyway, where there's a lot more residue, and see how that's holding the moisture and what it looks like. So we were down over there before. We came up a little bit of a ridge, and then we're just in a little draw here that kind of leads down to it. And the ground is damp on top here. Much, much different looking than what we were just in. And I'm sure that this is too wet. Sticky and does not break apart the same. There's a little bit lighter ground here, a little sandier content, so it is still breaking apart. But it's damp. It's not. This is not dry. I shouldn't work this. If it was June, we'd be out here. It's April. It's still early. Good job, bud. It is 7 o'clock at night. I should not be doing this. I'm gonna do this. We're getting some necessary equipment put on, GPS receiver, a display, cables to attach everything. Oh, we're gonna go try it. So I'm pretty sure Brock got this all ready to go. I think the only thing was we were gonna replace some of the chains on the drag on the back. None of them are actually broken, but some of them are getting worn and thin. So we're still gonna do that, but we gotta get some chain. I was gonna buy a bulk bucket or roll of chain or something that would be cheaper and easier than buying a bunch of chains and cutting them up. So it's fully operational. Yeah, we have big tires that carry all the weight. All right, so we're going over to that first field that we were in. We're going to try it. I'm not committing to doing the whole field. I'm committing to doing a round or two and seeing how it goes, and we'll decide from there. We may do the whole thing, we may not. I wouldn't do it tonight, except it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but I think it's a late in the day rain, and if I field cultivate this tonight, it'll air out overnight and throughout the morning, and then maybe by 10 or 11 o'clock, we can plant it tomorrow before the rain comes. If I wait to field cultivate it in the morning, then it would probably be 3 or 4 in the afternoon before I would really want to plant it, and it might be raining by then. So if I want to try and get a little bit done, we're going to go tonight and see what happens. So I don't know. I may be out of my mind here, but it is the 21st of April. It is warm. It is going to be very warm over the weekend, and if I can get something planted and done, I'm going to do it. There we go. Spring field work. How about this? All right, give me a minute to get comfortable and set up. We kind of pulled in from the back of the field here. We got to work our way back over to the side there, and we'll make a pass out through the field. So far, it looks decent, but I don't know what our depth is or anything. We may be going plenty too deep, just from the looks of it. And we got to kick our speed up. I'm running our 4240 display, so it's going to take me a minute to get this all figured out. Field work here. I did not expect this when I started the day, but it's going, and it looks pretty decent. We're gonna make a round. We're gonna get out and check it, see what things really look like. But just from the look of things, both where the field cultivator's running and then behind the packer, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks good. It's not sticking to the packer wheels there. A little bit in the center, but that's kind of a notorious, always does that thing, and part of it is from the, whoa, zoom out, from the tractor tire tracks and stuff. So, yeah, so far so good. It's checking for me. I'm trying to finish setting some stuff up on the display. There we go. He crawled out. He's looking. So let's go see how we're doing. We got just a round done. This actually looks really nice. So what we're looking for is nice, crumbly, loose dirt. Good planting conditions, something that we can plant right into. We want it to be level and smooth, which it is. So we're not bouncing over it, and we don't want to see sticky, slabby, gummy, gooey dirt. We got just a little spot here. Well, that breaks apart though. That's not gooey. Sometimes when you get this look to it, it can be a little gooey, but that doesn't seem to be the case there. Well, we haven't done that spot yet. I'll come back over to this other pass and check a look. So, like this right here, I don't like to see. That's wet and just on the edge gooey. But most of this is nice. When you take your foot and kick it across, you can see all that nice loose dirt that we've got. We're only going a couple inches deep, 2 to 3 inches deep is all. Like this stuff here, we didn't get into, and we don't want to. We don't want to bring dirt, wet dirt from underneath up. We want to just make loose dirt on top. And I feel like we're doing okay. We're going to keep moving. What do you think of this? Good. You like riding in the tractor? You think your brother's jealous? He can see us, you know. You think? You think he's watching us? Our house is right over there on the other side of those trees. I bet he's sitting there looking out the window saying, "Mama, let me go out with them." You think? Yeah. He might be. I feel bad for him. You know, I almost, you want to look too? I almost feel like a real farmer doing this. I didn't tell anybody I was coming out here. I didn't ask permission. I didn't ask Dad what he thought. I didn't tell anything to Phil. I came out and I looked. I said, Dad asked me what we were going to do tomorrow, and I said, well, that depends on what I find now. And I told him we were going to look at a field. He went in the house. I didn't go find him. Just jumped in the tractor and left. It's like I'm a real farmer, all on my own. I'll get in trouble tomorrow, probably. No, I won't. But It's a big deal. Don't you ever get any bright ideas.
Yeah.
Anytime you do anything, you have to ask me if it's okay.
I'm gonna trick you.
You're gonna trick me?
Yeah.
No, even when you're 35 years old, you have to ask me if it's okay.
I'll trick you right now.
Trick me? No, don't trick me.
Yeah.
What if you...
There's a field on this tractor's roof.
There's a field on the... How are we gonna plant corn up there?
Mine, not tractor.
What?
Yeah.
On the tractor?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Don't be tricking me like that.
I'll trick it that one.
You're gonna trick me again? What do you got this time?
This is got 3 feet on our roof.
There's what on our roof?
It's gonna fall. A tree's gonna fall.
A tree's gonna fall on our roof?
Yeah.
Oh no, where's the tree gonna come from? We're not even buying it.
There.
Way over there?
Right there.
We gotta do...
No. Fish.
Oh.
No.
Well, we're in that little lot behind the house that hangs a little bit wetter, and even that's working up pretty nice there. To go around the post, I may or may not have made it lean over a little bit more than it already was. Whoops. But we are almost up to the edge of the woods right there, so we got to do the end rows there, which means we're going to be as close as we're going to get to the house. So we're going to walk little dude up to the house there, and he's got to go to bed because it is 8:15. It is almost your bedtime. You're going to need that shoe to walk up to the house. Hi. His mom is probably not very happy with me. His brother is definitely not very happy with me. But it is okay. We're almost ready to plant corn, and we're in the fields driving a tractor, and that makes everything good. Somebody got my tractor all dirty.
No one.
It was you.
No, I didn't.
You didn't do it?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, it's going to be dark when we get back. We got that golden hour. Look at that. I got to take a picture, Brayson. Our wheat is growing. It's turned green. There's a lot of stuff growing down in between the rows, though. It is time to get a herbicide out here. Pronto. I'll have to tell Grandpa. Maybe he can spray tomorrow. Benefit of the new house, being close to everything. Tractor's right over there. I know it's a long ways, but we walked up. I got to take Brayson in. Got to see Rylan before bedtime. Grab some essentials. I'm gonna grab a jacket out of my coat because it's gonna get chilly when the sun goes down here. We're gonna go back and finish that, and then maybe we'll be able to plant tomorrow. So you guys realize that right now, as you're watching this, there's a very, very, very good chance that I'm driving an 8RX planting corn. That's pretty cool. Dust is flying and we're back at it. We're going to be out here for another couple hours and get this field all ready to plant. At this point, I assume you've seen it all, so we'll see you tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding, but it does get a little repetitive after this point. Nice sunset, though. Was it dark the last time I recorded something? I don't think it was. It's been a while. But we're moving right across here. And let's see. It says we've done 71, almost 72 acres there. We'll probably, there's 81, 82 in this field. We'll probably end up close to 90 because of the overlap from end rows and turns and different stuff like that. But it should be done here half hour-ish. It's almost 10 o'clock. There are a few places, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but like right there a little bit where the ground is just a little damp on top. And I think it's just the lighter soil. And that's that moisture wicking up. So once we lost the sun, we lost all that radiation and radiant warming heat effect where it was drying this ground out. And so, like I've told you guys before, our ground will actually wick the moisture up from underneath and it'll come to the surface. And in the morning, this will look wet on top if we didn't work it. Now, it'll still gonna look wet because, I mean, obviously we're working it up and it looks wet over there. But that's how it dries itself out and how the moisture gets out of our ground. It does it faster where the ground is lighter, sandier, and the sun's not drying it out now, so you're starting to see it a little bit. Now, most of it's not like that, and it's still plenty dry. It's still breaking apart and making a nice real good seed bed, but we need it to air out a little bit. We need this stuff to dry off on top so that our planter does a good job and it doesn't stick to our gauge wheels. Last pass and a few end rows and we're out of here. Oh man, it looks great. I think this field fit up really, really well. There were a few spots that were a little bit wet. They were almost exclusively along fence rows, trees, woods, or house lots behind that one house there. Outside of that, there weren't really anything that I would have considered too wet to be out here, or I wouldn't be on if the whole field was like that. So I'm happy with it. We will see what it looks like in the morning and what the weather looks like, but if it is not raining and we can get stuff ready, we got a lot to do to get ready, so we may or may not make it before the rain, but we're going to try and get this planted tomorrow. I'm not sure what's going on over there, but it must be something fairly serious because those lights have been flashing for at least an hour and a half there. Must be a mile over, down the road a little ways. Oh yeah, tomorrow, oh yeah. All right, well, I stopped in the seed warehouse here. After I left for that delivery, I kind of left in a hurry and I didn't organize stuff or plug the forklift in, and so I wanted to clean up a little bit and do some of that stuff. Make sure the forklift's gonna run tomorrow. I had thought about treating some more beans because I was thinking, whoa, what if we plant tomorrow beans? The field gets going on that, and I don't have the right ones treated, but I looked at what the most likely field for us to plant would be, and I do have the variety that I intend to plant there already treated of ours, so we should be fine if that becomes the case. So I fully intend to get ready and go and plant tomorrow. Yes, I still have deliveries to make. Yes, I still have beans to treat, but it's unlikely that any of those people are waiting on my seed in order to go to the field and do anything. That most of them are probably not. If somebody does need something, they will call me. I will drop everything and get it to them one way or another. So we're not holding anybody up because I'm not done with the job that I need to do. However, we have a lot to do before we can go to the field tomorrow, right? I have not gotten my tank out, the tank that I pull behind the planter. So we've got to get that out and check it out and make sure the tires are good and grease it. There's not a lot to do to it, but we've got to do that stuff. We've got to get our seed tender out. It was brand new last year, so there's not a lot that has to be done to it, but we got to check the tires and grease it and check the oil on the motor and that kind of stuff. And we've got to put the plates in the planter. I've got those 2 hydraulic fittings that I have not put on yet for our new fertilizer pump. We have not tested that system at all, tried any of it, so we need to run water through it and do all that. It will probably take us all morning just to get ready to go to the field. So while I fully intend to do so, there is a pretty decent chance yet that it's going to start raining before we ever make it, just because we won't have time to get everything done. So we'll see. Hopefully tomorrow's video, you guys are watching me planting in an 8RX. If you want to know whether or not we made it there, watch my Instagram stories, because I'm sure it'll make that. It does look like rain tomorrow, like I said, but it is going to be super warm on Saturday. So if we happen to get through tomorrow with a 1/2 or 1/10 of an inch of rain like we had this morning, it will not slow us down much, and we'll get a lot done over the weekend here. But then there's more rain coming Sunday and Monday. So short-lived here, and then cold next week again. We're still very, very early, and we've got lots of time, but ground conditions are decent. We're going to go and do what we can. Thanks for watching today, everybody. Appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe buttons. Check back tomorrow. You're going to want to. I'm sure you're going to want to. And, yeah, we'll see you in the morning.